25th of September 1944, the 56th day of the Warsaw Uprising. Attacks on the Mokotów district, where I am now, continue to intensify. 16-year-old Andrzej Borowiec is celebrating his birthday on this day when he's hit by grenade shrapnel. He refuses to leave his post, drenching his weapon in his own blood. His female colleague who's treating him is hit as well, and they both lie there in this forward observation post, drenched in their own blood, awaiting an enemy that's getting closer and closer and closer. Mokotów, like the other districts of the Old Town, Sadyba and Czerniaków, is about to fall. And the Poles have to make their escape, as they have done so many times before, through the sewers. Andrzej is absolutely terrified. He can't go into the sewers with his open wounds, he's too heavily injured. On the other hand, if he stays behind, he's pretty much convinced that he'll be killed. One by one, he watches as his unit disappears into the sewers, before finally deciding to stay. Some of his colleagues say goodbye, thinking they'll never see him again. Some of them tell him he's crazy for staying. But he says, I don't care. He's too exhausted, he's too tired, and he can't go down into those sewers again. Finally, he's left on his own, and he staggers to a hospital and waits with the other wounded, who are all terrified that they're about to be killed. The nurses strip him of his uniform and go off to try and find some clothes for him from one of the houses that are now lying empty. What happens to him next is beyond the realms of the absurd. The Germans do take the hospital, but this time they don't kill the injured. And Andrzej Borowiec, who's 16 years old and has fought for 56 days without pause, is led out of the hospital dressed in a dinner jacket or tuxedo and nothing else. As the injured wait to be evacuated, General Ruhr, the German commander, enters into the hospital and makes a short speech. He praises them for their bravery, before expressing regret that the Germans and Polish soldiers didn't fight together against the communists. As the general's leaving, they hear explosions in the distance. It's Soviet heavy artillery again firing onto Warsaw, onto German strongholds. The general turns to the Polish injured soldiers and says, "That's your Russian friends." Thank you very much for watching this episode of 63 Days of Extraordinary Courage, where we tell the story of the Warsaw Uprising. Please tune in to tomorrow's episode at 5 PM Warsaw time, 11 AM Eastern Standard Time.